A warm welcome back to Spectacle Island for episode 4 with me, Mr. Sealy P. I've just been talking to Jim via Discord. He's been watching my videos on. I feel very chuffed. I've decided I'm bringing the logs down. I was going to do it all off camera, but I've done 2 loads with the International. And the weird thing is, I haven't... No, hang on. Which one does this unload? I think it unloads that side. I will see in just a second. If it starts to go the wrong way, I'll go the other way with it. After using the gantry crane the other day and getting the hang of it and it all being great, I tried to unload the International today doing it. It was all over the place. So I thought what I would do is lease this, and this is the BSM 80006 log trailer. It's not an auto load trailer, but it unloads, so it tips and the logs roll off. So what I'm going to do is roll them onto the ground, then use the gantry crane to pick them up off the ground and put them on there. I don't know if it was it wasn't liking very much trying to unload off the back of the lorry and that kind of thing. So that's what I decided to do. So the 2 loads there, plus all of that on there. I think I've got one more stack of lumber left on field 4, and that's all the lumber brought over. I'll get it all onto the ferry and I'll get it shifted. Now, I'm talking to Jim and clearing the yard at the end of the last episode. I put the hay and straw in the hay loft. Jim messaged me to say that it takes straw, grass, hay, chaff, silage and forage in there, so I can put the silage in there. And also, what did he let me know? It was to do with the pipeline. The pipeline does come from the BJ, so you can it just transports any silage you've got over to So it's exactly what kind of what I thought. Right, I'm gonna double check this. Unfold. It is doing that side. That's all right. So I'm going to tip all that out. The problem's going to be driving away. Will it drag any with it? Don't really want to put any more back in when I fold it back up. Yeah, it's going to, isn't it? Woo. May have had a bit too much in it. Okay, what I'll do with those last few logs then, I'll come a bit further out. There's going to be a bit of fiddling around. You know what I might do is leave that there, use the crane, and then I'll unload the last bit. So that's all on the ground. That's all will go on one more load. So I just thought I'd show you where I'm at and say about the hay loft and get all these on. When I next see you, I'll probably be most of the way there. We'll unload that, work out where we're at. Then we've got fields to plant, seed, plant. What else was I going to do? I might have a look for some gold bars, or I might do some fuel. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to transport next or what I'm going to do. I might go and grab a couple of gold bars. I'm going to just double check what is gold selling for at the moment. We can take a drive over to the gold mine. Where's the gold? There's gold. 16. That's not too bad. I have seen it up around 20. So I might hold off a bit. I might collect some, but we'll see. So anyway, yeah, see you in a little while. I've got work to do. I'll tell you what, we got a fair bit on here. Actually, I honestly thought it was going to be kind of jiggling around a lot more, when the log's off and they move around a bit, but not too bad so far. I'm curious to see how much we're going to get. First load we did was about 80, just over 80 grand, wasn't it? Yeah, look. Not quite full to the top. I didn't do double stacks, just one. But let's see what we're going to get. 157. Not bad at all. I'll take that. Happy days. with our payment received from the sawmill, the barge is back. I'm now taking my Taurus Robust. We're going to go get some lime. Now, I have got the CNS and Marie point just here. You may have noticed that before. We have got seed refill points up on the hill. We're going to be sorting out our Bourgault. It's go time for seeding, or it's Bourgault time for seeding. As you can see, all the fields are now clear. They're all ploughed. All the logs have been moved, but they all need lime. Now, the CNS and Marie point, I mean, really, really cheaply get the lime. But there's a free lime point here on the island, so we're going to go and get free lime from the little lime quarry here on the island. I'm trying to think, what one do I need? It's the middle. I think it's the middle one I need. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can go down either one of them and just drive on the beach, but I think the middle one takes us right there. And if you haven't seen the map, I haven't been on it before when I'm saying the middle one, there are these causeways that take us through the water across the next set of islands, or you can go all the way around. I've come the wrong way about this, haven't I? Should come onto the beach down there. You have to cross here, the line points over there. Stay within the markers and you'll be fine. Don't stray from the path. Stick to the path. Don't go on the moors. What film, people? What film? I mean, it was a terrible accent, terrible impression, but what film was that from? One of the first films of that sort of genre I remember watching as a kid, and it put me off that genre of film forever. So yeah, we're going to use this. One thing now I'm trying to remember, did I check when I did the mod review? I don't know if I did. Can this be unloaded? If it can't, we could be in trouble here. Look at that, perfect. 30,000 litres of lime. We'll get that done. We'll get the Bourgault out. I'm just wondering as well whether or not it's worth getting the chickens sorted out now. We can get them underway. We have, like I say, we have got wheat, haven't we? So we could do. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, I was talking to Jim. As it turns out, it was yesterday now. No mods yesterday either, which was a bit odd. I don't know if we'll get any today. If we do, I'll do the mod review. If we don't, I won't. Oh, well, yeah, it reminds me, on the way back, I want to thank, special thanks to Darren, to David, Tony, Evans, Stephen and Mark. Thank you very much. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you for your generosity. Some of you reoccurring generosity, so thank you for that. Very much appreciated. And I've lost my thread again. Oh, I'm so good at that. Chickens, was it about the chickens? I honestly can't remember. I know what happened. I'll come back to edit and go, oh yeah, of course. That's what you was talking about a couple of minutes ago, just before you got sidetracked. Does it matter which field I do first? Not really. This is supposed to... Oh, it spreads lime and manure at 20 metres and it does fertiliser at 36. So let's see just what our... That's not too bad actually. Come out a little bit further. We'll get them all limed. Might as well get maximum yield off them we can. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, there's been quite a few of these types of manure, muck, fertiliser spreaders out recently. And it's weird how some of them, either the capacities are tiny, and it's great they do all three, but you just absolutely motor through the stuff so quickly, you think, well, okay, it's not worth it. Or they've got fairly good capacities, but the spread widths are terrible. I mean, again, not terrible, but you know what I mean? Because there are other options available, and you think, oh, okay, I'm not sure. And this was one of those ones that popped up the other day, and I thought, actually, that's a good combination of all of it. The mod looked really great anyway. The capacity was huge. Spread widths were really good. And I thought, well, I'd be mad not to give it a go, you know. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're all about at the moment. It's better to have a go than never know. Or some other sort of bumper sticker quote like that. But I like that one. So yeah, I've got to decide. I'm going to need to get a planter, but then having said that, the money we made from the login, we can afford to get one. So we're going to get a planter. I have been thinking about if we upgrade the seeder, which we might well do. I'm hoping to get a larger tractor too, because I want to get more fields. I want to get field 7, which is over on the sort of first island bit before you come over. I might grass all of that one though. That's one that I think if I go around doing my grass stuff around the edges of the fields, like I kind of did on 6 Ashes where I went around all the verges, I'll be getting as much grass as I can where I can. But if I can have a dedicated field for that, that will make life so much easier. And because there's a shelter sort of shed thing up there as well, I suppose I could store, if I did hay bales, I could store the hay bales actually up there by the side of the field. It does mean we can do silaging, and field 7 is right next to the BJ as well. That kind of makes sense for doing that. So I'm thinking that's the route I'm going to go down. I'm actually really impressed how little lime this is used. I mean, this is not by any means a massive field, but what we used, not even 7,000 litres yet. That's the other thing I was hoping for. I was talking, again, I can't remember if it was earlier in this episode or yesterday's episode, or the last episode. I say yesterday's, it depends when I post them. About things I'm hoping for FS22 kind of thing. The precision farming side of things, again, if they go down the route of having that base game, or whether or not they decide to have that again, they'll do it as an add-on, I don't know. A lot of people are concerned with the seasons thing. They're hoping you'll be able to switch it on and off, and I think, did I cover the fact? I'm pretty sure in the podcast, the original podcast said you will be able to. I might have misremembered that, so don't take that as gospel. But the precision farming side of things, what I would love to see in the base game is that ability that the precision farming brings for this, like almost the section control thing. You know, that thing that when you're doing this, liming or fertilizing or spraying herbicide or whatever you're doing, that when you go over a bit you've already done, it doesn't spread anymore. It shuts off. That, you know, that row shuts off. That kind of thing. I hope we get that as a base game thing, because I like that in precision farming. I'll be honest, yeah, having had a go with the precision farming on Rasvet, I really did like it. I think the one drawback to it, and one that I think a lot of people have found, is the soil sampling thing. Not that it doesn't work, because it does, and there are a couple of little ways around, you know, financing it, so to speak, is the size of the sample area that it takes. Now, I know obviously in the real world, you go and take a soil sample, it's going to be for a fairly small area. If you've got a big farm with lots of fields, you know, it's going to take a while. Of course it is, but I think it's one of the things that maybe people are holding back off, or they find frustrating, that if you've got a lot of fields and you're going across the entire map, you can spend a lot of time just doing soil sampling. But then again, that's no different to any other map doing any other process, like I'm doing now, doing liming or doing ploughing or doing any of the other things. If you've got a lot of fields and a big map, you can spend a lot of time doing these processes. But it's weird how we do these processes and don't bat an eyelid, because, well, it's liming, it needs to be done, or it's fertilising, it needs to be done. Whereas the soil sampling seems to be a kind of, oh, such a pain. And I suppose because it, whilst it does give you information, it doesn't actually, it doesn't like boost your yield or do anything for you. It gives you the information to do the next step. So I don't know. I guess I think you could. Yeah, I don't know. You still do need to do it, don't you? I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out loud, like I always do. Just the ideas that are in my head, things that bounce around. You know, the scary dark recesses of my brain. like on a horror movie. Don't go down in the basement. Same thing. Don't go to those dark recesses. So, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to get the liming finished on all 4 fields. If I run out in here, I'll whiz back over to the quarry. What I am going to do with the seeder, I don't know how much seed it's actually going to use, I'm going to do my first load of seed from the seed refill point up at the farm. If I then run out, I'm going to do my second load of seed from the CNS and Marie, and we'll have a look at the price difference. And I'm almost certain the CNS and Marie one will be cheaper, but if you haven't got that installed, if you don't want to use that one, I'm just curious to see what it's going to cost me to buy my seed at the refill point at the farm. I think it's probably just going to be the standard price for the Mercury Farms shed pack has got those as part of it. Or were they separate mods? I'm trying to think now. Jim's refill points have been around for quite a while. They were always very good value, if I recall. Anyway, yeah, so I'm doing it again. See you in a bit. All 4 fields are done. I did have to go back and refill. This does unload, I think. I'm going to go to the Placeables area because there's plenty of room there, so we'll unload there. And what I might do is put down a lime storage. Like I said, if I do an extension, a multi-fruit extension maybe onto the silo, then we should be able to put lime and stuff in there, store it. But for the time being, we'll stick it over here out of the way. We can always come back for it. It was free, so it's not a problem. Then we'll go and get the Bourgault. I remembered what, actually 2 things. There we go. Which means I can now put fertiliser in that when I want to fertilise. But I think, pretty sure the Bourgault seeds and fertiliser. Now the Bourgault is a direct drill, so technically I didn't have to plough, but when I cleared the fields, and because the crops and stuff were all withered, the fields were showing as red, meaning they needed ploughing. And by doing that, you gain that extra bit of yield, that kind of yield bonus for the ploughed state. So whilst I didn't technically have to do it, I was going to do it anyway. I generally do when it pops up saying red. I know some people don't bother because it's, was it 10%? I can't remember what it is, 10 or 15% now for the ploughing thing. But alright, so the 2 things I was going to say that I remembered as I was going around, I do like this one. Sorry, I'm doing it again. One was crops. I was saying about crops, and I'm going to do 1 field with wheat or barley for the chickens. 1 probably canola, probably. I'm thinking ahead towards feeding the pigs. 1 definitely of corn, but I haven't got a planter, so I was saying I'm going to need to get a planter. And I'm thinking longer term of getting larger seeders. I was thinking about the DBs, the John Deere DB ones. Is it from J.AModding? Are they the DBs? Maybe getting something like that. Because I said about maybe getting a larger tractor and then, getting something like that. So maybe I might go down that route. And I also started off by saying I've been talking to Jim as well about the map, and he was saying about, various different things I was doing, and he was enjoying it and whatever. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I am. But I have found it and am finding it very kind of freeing in, like I've already mentioned. I know I've mentioned it a few times now about, doing stuff on other maps. And not being stifled, I chose to do things on other maps, but what I'm really enjoying is that kind of feeling of freedom to be able to pick and choose whatever you want to do. And again, not that I haven't been enjoying playing the game, because I do enjoy playing the game, but that kind of, rather than feeling I'm making almost like a series, like a TV series, with Rasvet and some of the ones I've done, storylines and stuff, it feels like you're making a little mini series kind of thing. It's just the seed one, isn't it? We'll soon find out. I'll tip it all over the floor. Please work. No? There we go. Seed's gone in. Yeah, that you're kind of making a TV series, you know. You've got a storyline going, you've got all these different things happening and things that need to fall into place. Whereas this feels a lot more, you can just jump on and play, you know, and that kind of, whilst I enjoy both aspects of it, this I've felt more readily, it's more easily accessible. I can just jump on and play, and I'm doing this next, this next, this next. It hasn't required loads of setup or preparation, or, you know, and that's what I was saying to Jim. I'm finding it very freeing, you know, very, and I like that. So what we'll do is we'll back up to the seed point here. Takes a fair amount. Yeah, you look at how much we're going to pay for seed. Now, we had a little bit in there already, but 3,600. I'm pretty sure at the CNS one you'd be looking at a few hundred, you know, rather than 3,000. You wouldn't get into thousands, I don't think. Now, fertiliser chute is open, so what we'll try and do if we can, let's put fertiliser in. While I'm also here, let's have a look at field prices. How much is field 7? 104. Is that all? 145 grand. Buy it. Why not? If I'm in the process of going around doing all my seeding, oh, actually, I'm going to need to check that. I know. What is that saying? Fruit types. Have I lost everything? That's not showing. Is that grass already? Hang on. Growth. Fully fertilised. Turn that off. Doesn't need ploughing, doesn't need lime. Let's go back up to there. Let's go down to grass. Click that on. Well, there you go. It's grass already. We've just bought ourselves a grass field. That opens things up considerably. That's fantastic. Isn't it? I honestly don't know what it is about this. There are so many different seeders and planters available. It's only an 8 metre wide one. I used the Lemkin Solitaire. Was it Solitaire 12.8 or whatever it's called? The 8 metre version of the Solitaire. And loved that. So it's no different. It's just the design. I don't know. I like the Bourgault stuff. I think it looks really, really cool. Let's get the fertiliser in. I don't often seed and fertilise at the same time. I will often fertilise the field first, then seed or plant, then come back and do another load if I need to. So yeah, I don't often do it together, but I thought, I don't know, I just thought I'd do it. Why not? Assuming, of course, I can get this to tip in the front bit. And have I got enough money to get fertiliser? Right, so let's really tip that over there. Oh, it's not going on the floor. So that's seed and fertiliser cleared up off the floor. Turn that off. Now we're looking. Let's put some more fertiliser in. Oh, ouch. It's that same. If you're from the UK, you'll understand this. That's no different. That's that feeling of using the CNS Amory, dirt cheap, get what you need, coming somewhere else and going, oh, that's like going to Wetherspoons to the pub to drink. Now, I know it has a bad reputation, blah, blah, whatever it might be. I personally never had a problem with it. The beer's great, food's reasonably priced, that kind of thing. But they do a really good selection of beers, good selection of real ales, nicely priced. And you kind of get used to that. If you go somewhere else, it's like paying £2, you know, £2.50 for a pint, say. And then you go into London, which I have done with my wife a few times. She works in London, has worked in London. And you go to a bar, you go buy a drink, and they're charging £6-7 a pint. And you go, you know, your lung falls out and you what? It's that kind of thing. It's like, whoa, what just happened there? That was because I've been using the CNS ones for quite a while now. I kind of got used to those prices, but it's all good. So we'll do wheat. We'll get the straw swath off. It doesn't matter, wheat or barley. So as I said, it is Bourgault time. And it is kind of weird when you look at it as well, the size of the machinery. When it opens out, you think, well, where's the rest of it? You kind of expect there to be more to come out. I do like the animations on these as well. And it was Sussex. Was it Sussex Farm I used this on? I'm sure it was. I do find it interesting when I do stuff. And like I said, for me, you know, you've done however many episodes on however many Let's Plays on however much stuff you've been doing things on, and you then start to think, oh, have I used this before? Have I done this before? Have I? And you get those people out there who I guess would be referred to as like a super fan, that kind of thing, you know, that remember everything. And I'm sure I said on Rasvet something I'd used or hadn't used. Oh, it was the little Fortschritt. The Fortschritt forage harvester. And I said I couldn't remember having used it. And in the comments, oh, who was it? Someone actually put the Let's Plays and the times I'd actually used it before. So, wow, how do you remember that? You know, and even if you were thinking, oh yeah, I'm sure he has, to trawl through and find the ones where I've done it and used it, my mind was blown. That's like, whoa, okay, that's cool. It's a nice feeling. Like I was saying about clearing the fields, and it may not be your cup of tea, and if you want to just get rid of them, you know, you can. It has got the option to just clear the fields, get rid of the trees and all the stumps, and you can just get on with this bit straight away. But it's quite rewarding having done it all and driving through, seeing all the fields ploughed and thinking about what they looked like when I first got on here, and then thinking to yourself, I did that, I cleared that, you know, I did all of that. It gives you a nice warm fuzzy feeling. Now, I suppose the thing to do is going to be to go to field 7, check that out, because it's a fair size field. So what I might then do is half of it mow, ted, and then bale for hay, and the other half of it do for chaff for the biogas, and we'll get some silage on the go as well. I say it's a fair size field. I mean, I've got a lot of round here. Well, I suppose what I could do maybe is do the hay baling round here, because that would also give us not only hay. Oh no, we were going to do grass, weren't we, for the sheep? So maybe the fields around here, so I know I'm thinking out loud. The grass around all these fields used for the sheep for feed, and the grass on field 7 used for hay for making total mix ration for the cows. What do we reckon? Good idea? Sound plan? I think it is. And again, for me, unusual. I don't, you know, looking down to the bottom right, I'm seeding and fertilising at the same time. I very rarely do this. Again, just got into the habit. I don't know a particular reason why. I always found the offset a bit weird, and there always seemed to be way more fertiliser in the seeders than seed, or it'd be the other way round. You'd have way more seed than fertiliser, and you'd never run out of both at the same time. And it's a minor thing, you just go and fill one up, it's not a problem, but I always found it just a little bit frustrating. It was that kind of, oh, why? I just, you know, and then it's all right, I'm not doing it. Throw my toys out the pram. Right then, I'm not doing fertiliser that way. Loving the Terra Trac. So I'll get the wheat done in here, then we'll. I'm gonna do corn in the biggest field. Definitely, because we're going to need a lot of corn. That's the primary food source for the pigs. And then canola in one. What's the other thing? Oh, I'm probably for pigs. I'm going to need some kind of root vegetable, aren't I? Yeah. What root vegetable? I've done a bit of both. I could do sugar. Doesn't really matter, does it? Do sugar beet, I suppose. So do I split the smallest field, which I think is field 2, isn't it? Just have a second. I think 2 is smaller than... It might be the same sort of size, really. Do I split that and do part of it, like do a section, a few strips of sugar beet, and then the rest of it something else? Could do, couldn't I? Again, I'm just sort of, you know, it's that thinking out loud. I think I'm going to do, and I haven't done it for a little while. I'm sure someone will tell me exactly the last time I did it. I'm racking my brains now. I want to do some poplars again. I know it's a massive poplar. Oh, I did poplars on Eureka, didn't I? But I mean, that was a bit different because that was bonkers stuff. So it was fairly easy to plant. It was really easy to plant, and it was really easy to harvest. So yeah, I might do poplars. I've got a bit of a border going now, so what I'll do is I'll do my strips up and down. I will see you... Yeah, I'm going to need a planter if I'm going to do... Oh, hang on. I have another one of those mind melts. Yeah. I need to sort out a planter as well, don't I? I'll see you in a bit. I've managed to find a local to help. I have a worker putting canola in field 4. Yes, field 4. Like I say, field 3 is going to be corn, field 2 is going to be sugar beet and maybe something else. What I thought I would do, because I haven't used it yet, is come and grab the foremost. Now, I don't think this is going to have enough horsepower for the fertilizer / manure / lime spreader, which will be a real pity. The other thing I was going to do, I was going to whiz down to the store and get a small trailer, just like a yard trailer, for doing the feed and that kind of thing for the chickens and stuff. But we have got the International, which we can convert. So what I thought I would do is move this out of the way. We'll go and get the International, and hopefully try and stick this on the fertilizer spreader and see if we can go over field 1 with fertilizer. So what we'll do is we'll sort out... We should just better go over the... I don't want to fall down an embankment and injure myself, but how steep is it here? Oh, it's pretty steep. Without abseiling gear, it's probably a bit dicey from there. That's an ankle breaker, isn't it? So yeah, we'll go grab the International, we'll convert that over to the... It's a bit big for the yards, but it will still work. And then we can sort out whether we can get a trailer. Oh, actually, you know what, while we're here, planters. Now, I may, like I said, further down the line, may look at DBs because I haven't used those and they're fairly new and there's different sizes. There's the Great Plains, I've used those before. There's the modded Great Plains YP4025A, which I love. Direct drill, does everything, not just planting crops, 12 metres wide, 102 grand, dirt cheap, but I mean, that thing's brilliant. The standard in-game one is just as good. A little bit more expensive, but it's 18.2 metres wide. When you look at the price of the Maestro for 18 metres wide, it's 169 grand. Not a direct drill, doesn't do everything. So yeah, the Great Plains ones are brilliant. Now the Covenant Monopile E-Drive I used on 6 ashes, but I haven't used the Optima RS. It's a 9 metre. It's not massive, but again, it's that thing of I want to give it a go. You know, yes, I could go bigger, and I probably will go bigger as we move forward. But I want to give this a try. So I said we're going to need a planter for doing our sugar beet and for putting our corn in the ground. So let's get that. We'll go and collect that at some point. So new field, new planter. This thing, when I said about it doesn't even seem to sound right. When you get up to speed, it sounds mint. It's brilliant. We should be able to convert this over. That's really steep. It's only when I came up that with the bigger log trailer, I suddenly thought, blimey, that seems to be struggling. But then when you sort of turn sideways, yeah, of course it is. It's the light switch. That's better. Right, let's convert this over. Customize. We want container. So we have platform, supported, or container. We'll go for container for the time being. Doesn't cost anything to customize it. We're doing the work ourselves. I'm going to go and grab some of the wheat. Actually, we'll grab all the wheat. And let's get a load of chickens. We'll get the chickens sorted out now. And then what I'll do is head down. And we'll see if we can get this fertiliser done. If we can't, I'll just have to swap over. I think it's one of those situations that may end up being like a yard tractor. I want to find some jobs for it to do because I want to use it. But I may have gone too big too soon. You know, it's one of those ones you would use as you build up. But I've spoken to those different people about this over the entire span of me doing Let's Plays and doing videos and being on YouTube. The amount of people that say, oh yeah, you know, we've always had, I left where I was open, didn't I? We've always had the yard tractor, we've always had a small tractor, we've always had a couple of them knocking around the yard for doing various different jobs. It's not all about having massive machinery, and it's a fair point, isn't it? So now I've got wheat in the ground and it is growing. I can use this out of here. This doesn't look big, but it's got a 40-odd thousand litre capacity. I do wonder if the scale may be off a little bit on it, because it's sort of, I don't know, having never seen one in real life. In the real world, it's hard to tell, isn't it? So, let's do this, shall we? No, that's where the pallets spawn. I want to be... Oh, it's in here, isn't it? Oh, that's something while I'm here. Where was it? So I dream it. Oh, it's around behind it, isn't it? I'm sure there's a gold bar. But it might be around behind the building. Where's my trigger? There. So, let's get 2, 3 of those. Probably only one. I always go for more. It's because of the seasons thing in my head. There's that ratio, so I always kind of go a bit weird. But I think we'll go... Honestly, can't remember what the capacity is, but let's just get a load anyway. We can always add to it. Let's confirm that. Let's just check and see how many we've got, and then I'll amend it. 96, we'll go 4 more. Then the next load I'll get black ones, and then we'll get brown ones, and we'll go from there. So we should be sitting at 100 chickens, 3 roosters. Let's give them some wheat. We can get that on the go. I could have sworn there was a gold bar in here. Why? Oh no, it was round behind. There you go. There's one there too. We will come back for that at some point. Excellent, that's that done. With our first animals. We are going to need a loading wagon, and that's the thing, you know, you do the login, money builds up. I started off with the 600 grand, that didn't last 5 minutes. I mean, to be fair, I did buy that great big mill loader, which I'm going to use later down the line. That is probably going to sit there for a while now doing nothing. Just thinking, should I, do I want to sell it back? I don't really want to sell it back. But the money just evaporates. So, some other revenue sources will be looked at. Let's see, shall we? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put fertiliser in from the CNS, and we'll see the difference. Bearing in mind the planter only held, was it 2,000 something, or was it 3,000 litres? This holds 30,000. And again, if you've seen any of my Let's Plays recently, you'll know I use the CNS on a lot. You'll know I like using it a lot. I'm just not sure whether this is going to have the horsepower. Why don't you just have, does that have a 3-point? A PTO hookup? Yeah. That got really dirty really quickly, considering I just did liming with it. Now the other thing I love about this foremost is I've got these tyres on. I love the fact they're all the same size. But you can get these big old flotation tyres on it as well, which are absolutely phenomenal. Where has the seeder got caught up that it's saying it's... Oh. That's what happens when you don't vet your workers. Same thing, isn't it? Same thing, different day. It's always the way. What? Crashed into that with my face. It's alright, can't even make me look better, can't it? Excuse me, mister, I've got your tractor stuck. Again, usual worker shenanigans, isn't it? Stuck, get there, worker's scarpered, just gone. This hasn't used anywhere near as much seed as I thought it was going to, so that's all good. Like I said though, I don't know whether or not I'm going to... The field that I'm going to put sugar beet in, I don't want to do the whole field sugar beet because we know what it's like for yield. Sugar beet and potatoes is off the scale, you know. But and it's a fair size field. I don't really want to do all of it. So I should really split it down. I think it's for the best. Well, that's 2 fields done. I'm going to see if I can get the fertiliser to work. If I can, that's probably where I'm going to end it for today. Next episode, we'll get the planter up. We'll get our corn planted. We'll get on with either mowing grass for the sheep and we'll get some sheep in, or we'll go over to field 7. We'll start cutting grass, and like I said, we'll split it half and half. Half hay, we'll bale it and work out how we're going to get that back. And then I've got the wheel loader, haven't I? I just need the what's that brilliant grab that came with the add-on? It was the straw harvest, wasn't it? The Bressel and Lard. I love that. So let's take this back. Yeah, so a few different options. Oh well, no, because I want to do Gold Rush as well. Who was it messaged me? Someone messaged me on PlayStation to say the Gold Rush game is coming out on PlayStation on Friday, which might be quite cool to have a bit of a look at. So potentially, yeah. So we might do a bit of a Gold Rush because I've been showing you where they are, and I haven't been collecting them, so I should really. Right, let's see, shall we? That's worrying. Oh. I'm not getting anything coming up. This takes lime and fertiliser, so why? You're going to tell me this is the only one it won't work at? So I haven't got anything in it, have I? Oh dear, oh dear. It doesn't seem to want to turn either. Oh, come on, you've got to be kidding me. It won't work? Oh, no, it is. What happened there? I had the same problem I had on Rasvet. The L3 wasn't working. So let's see what this takes to fill it up. Okay, that was a bit weird. Doesn't normally cost that much. Why is that cost? How much? It's 30,000 litres, isn't it? I'm just thinking that was a lot of money. I paid more than that to put fertiliser in the seeder. I think I've just put 10 times as much in that. I'm thinking that should. Yes, of course it should have been that much. That's. Please work. I wonder why the L3 thing is playing up now. Is it going to tell me I've got enough horsepower? Come on, please work, please. This should go at 36 metres as well. Oh. Oh, I've just realised. Because since I seeded and fertilised at the same time, didn't I? And I haven't changed the ground state since then. So until that hits the first growth stage, I can't put fertiliser down. But what I can do is put fertiliser down on the other two fields before I seed. So let's do that. Or plant. What are we going to do there? Right, let's try this again, shall we? Oh, it's pulling this fine. This is my fertilising tractor. At 36 metres, it's not going to take very long at all. Yeah, this robust, great capacity, great price, great spread width, does all three. Love it. I know there's the TLX the Geo spread that came with the Covenant, and that can go out to 40 something metres, isn't it? You can adjust the spread width out, and I love that. I think it's absolutely brilliant. The capacity is not huge. That said, 30,000 litres of fertiliser, it's going to take me a while to get through that, isn't it? But that's a good thing. If you're on a farm with massive fields, you don't want to be getting through your fertiliser quickly. Awesome. Love that foremost. I just love the look of it. Looks like the old Ford TWs, those, you know, it has that look about it. Beauty. Right. And that's where I'm going to leave you. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.